Hello students, welcome to my channel Learning History Made Easy. In today's video, I will be continuing with the chapter-wise important question series. Today I will be explaining about the important questions from chapter 4.3 Mauryas. Before going into the video, if anyone is seeing the channel for the first time or if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share it with your friends. And also click the bell button to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos. So without wasting time, let us get into the video. So first we'll see 1 mark and 2 mark questions. Who founded the Mauryan dynasty? Chandragupta Maurya. Name the capital of Mauryas. Pataliputra. Which was the royal emblem of Mauryas? Dharmachakra. Who wrote Mudra Rakshasa? Vishakadatta. Who wrote Arthashastra? Kautilya. Who wrote Indica? Megasthenes. Name the Greek ruler defeated by Chandragupta Maurya. Seleucus. Name the Mauryan ruler who followed Jainism. Chandragupta Maurya. Where did Chandragupta Maurya spend his last days? Chandragiri Hills at Shravanabelagola. Who was the greatest ruler of Mauryan dynasty? Ashoka. Which Ashokan edict speaks about Kalinga war? 13th Rock Edict. Name the Mauryan ruler who accepted Buddhism. Ashoka. Which is the biggest stupa built by Ashoka? Sanchi Stupa. Which is the national emblem of India? The capital of Sarnath Pillar. Name any 2 important sources which help us to know about the Mauryan dynasty. Arthashastra of Kautilya, Ashokan edicts, Indica of Megasthenes, etc. Which are the 2 types of courts that existed in the Mauryan period? Dharmasteya and Kantakashodhana. That is Dharmasteya dealing with civil cases and Kantakashodhana dealing with criminal cases. Who was Kautilya and what is his famous work? Kautilya was a famous statesman of ancient India. His work is Arthashastra. Who wrote Gata Saptasati? Hala. Name any 2 important rulers of Shatavahanas? Hala and Gautamiputra Shatakarni. Now let us move on to the long answer questions. The first one is describe the administration of Mauryas. So we will just see how we will write the answer for the question, that is describe the administration of Mauryas. Administration of Mauryas. I'll quickly go through the points. If you want detailed explanation, you can go to the chapter-wise videos in my channel. There is a separate playlist for 2nd PUC chapter-wise videos. So regarding Mauryan administration, you can just write an introduction in the beginning. That is, the Mauryans established a very efficient system of administration. So the Mauryans had an efficient system of administration. They were the first to establish uniform administration throughout the empire. They had uniform administration throughout the empire. And Arthashastra played an important role in the administration of Mauryas. Arthashastra was very important when you consider the Mauryan administration. Now first we will see about the central government of Mauryas, about the king. The king was the head of the state. Regarding the central government, the king was the head of the state of the Mauryas, and the king had different powers. That is, he had legislative powers, executive powers, judicial powers, and military powers. So all these powers were in the hands of the king, that is legislative, executive, judicial and military power. And his main duty was he had to work for the welfare of his people. That was the main duty of the king, that is he had to work for the welfare of his people. Now after the king, next we will have to write about the secretariat. Regarding the central government, next we will write about the secretariat. The administrative matters of central government was divided into 30 departments. So altogether all the administrative matters were divided into total 30 departments, and each department, in this 30 department, each department was under a superintendent. Okay, superintendent was in charge of each department, and they dealt with different activities like irrigation, market, education, etc. So all these were the different departments handled by the superintendent. So that was about the secretariat. Next we will see about the administration of justice. Regarding the administration of justice during the Mauryan period, there were two types of courts which existed in the Mauryan Empire. So the first type of court was Dharmastheya. Dharmastheya, which dealt with civil cases, and the second type of court was Kantakashodhana, which dealt with criminal cases. Okay, Dharmastheya, which dealt with civil cases, and Kantakashodhana was a court which dealt with criminal cases. Now, regarding the village administration, there was the village headman. So the village headman, he was responsible in the village for the justice in areas. And Megasthenes, according to Megasthenes, he observed that in the Mauryan Empire, the punishments were very severe. Okay, and the punishments included beheading and amputation of limbs. So that was about the administration of justice. So next we will move on to the revenue administration. The revenue administration. So regarding the revenue administration, the main source of income was land revenue. It was the main source of income, and the land revenue was 1/6 of the produce. 1/6 of the produce was fixed as tax, and the tax was collected both in cash as well as in kind. And these taxes were collected by local officers. It was collected in cash and kind, and it was collected by local officers. And there were different types of taxes, like taxes were levied on like professional taxes, then house taxes, cattle tax, sales tax. So all these kind of taxes were collected from the people. So that was about the revenue administration. So next, after central administration, we will move on to the provincial administration. So if we see the case of provincial administration, the Mauryan Empire was divided into 5 provinces. Okay, and the capital of these 5 provinces were Girnar, then Takshashila, Ujjain, Tosali, and Suvarnagiri. So all these were the capitals of the 5 provinces. So it was divided into 5 provinces, and the capitals were Girnar, Takshashila, Ujjain, Tosali, and Suvarnagiri. Now each province, it was divided into 5 provinces, and each of the province was under the charge of a governor. Okay, and this governor belonged to the royal family. Each province under a governor who belonged to royal family. Then after provinces were further divided into districts, and districts were governed by sthanikas. Okay, so first it was divided into 5 provinces. Provinces were under governor. Then it was divided into districts. Districts were under sthanika. And provinces were divided into districts which were governed by sthanikas. Now districts were divided into villages. Villages were under Gramika. So Gramika was the head of the village. And official in charge of 10 villages. There was also an official in charge of 10 villages. He was called as the Gopa. That official in charge of 10 villages were called as Gopa. And there was also a special officer called as Dharma Mahamatra. And this officer was there both at center and in the province. Dharma Mahamatra was a special officer appointed by Ashoka both in center and in the province. So that was about the provincial administration of Mauryas. Now regarding the city administration, administration was entrusted to a committee of 30 members. So city administration was entrusted to a committee of 30 members were in charge of the city administration, and the committee was divided into 6 boards of 5 members each. Okay, so there was a committee with 30 members which was divided into 6 boards of 5 members each, and they looked after all matters such as roads, then markets, hospitals. All these matters were looked after by this board of 5 members each. So that was about city administration. Now finally we will see the details about military administration. Military administration. So regarding military administration, Chandragupta Maurya was having a very efficient military administration. It was efficient and also well organized. Okay, efficient and well organized military administration. And King personally led the army during the war. Okay, led the army during the time of war. He personally led the army. An army of Chandragupta Maurya consisted of 6 lakh infantry, 30,000 cavalry, 9,000 elephants. All these were included in the army of Chandragupta Maurya. And the war office, if you consider the war office was also having 6 boards of 5 members. Okay, 6 boards of 5 members were there considering the war office. And the different, that is the 6 boards were, that is Navy, second is transport, third is infantry, fourth is cavalry, fifth chariots, and the 6th one is elephant force. Okay, so this was included in the war office. So these were the points regarding the administration of Mauryas. So just let us go through the points once more. So the question will be, describe the administration of Mauryas. Mauryan administration. The Mauryas established efficient system of administration. They were the first to establish a uniform administrative system throughout the empire. Arthashastra played an important role in the administration of Mauryas. The central government, King was the head of the state. He had legislative, executive, judicial and military powers. His main duty was to work for the welfare of the people. Secretariat. Administrative matters of central government was divided into 30 departments. Each department was under a superintendent. They dealt with activities such as irrigation, market, education, etc. Administration of justice. Mauryan Empire had 2 types of courts. Dharmasteya dealt with civil cases and Kantakashodhana dealt with criminal cases. Headman of village was responsible for justice in their areas. Megasthenes observed that punishment was severe, which included beheading and amputation of limbs. Revenue administration. Land revenue was the main source of income. 1/6 of the produce was fixed as tax. Tax was collected both in cash and kind. They were collected by local officers. Taxes were levied on professions, houses, cattle, sales tax, etc. Provincial administration. Mauryan Empire was divided into 5 provinces. Their capitals were Girnar, Takshashila, Ujjain, Tosali and Suvarnagiri. Each province was under the charge of a governor belonging to the royal family. Provinces were further divided into districts which were governed by Sthanikas. Gramika was the head of the village. Official in charge of 10 villages was called as Gopa. Ashoka appointed Dharma Mahamatras both at the center and in the province. City administration. Administration was entrusted to a committee of 30 members. This committee was divided into 6 boards of 5 each. They looked after roads, markets, hospitals, temples, schools, etc. Military administration. Military administration of Chandragupta was very efficient and well organized. King personally led army during the war. Army of Chandragupta consisted of 6 lakh infantry, 30,000 cavalry and 9,000 elephants. War Office was administered by 6 boards each consisting of 5 members. They were Navy, Transport, Infantry, Cavalry, Chariots and Elephant Force. So this was about the Mauryan administration. So now let us see one more question, that is explain the life and achievements of Ashoka. So if a question comes about life and achievements of Ashoka, let us see how to answer. Life and achievements of Ashoka. Okay, so in this answer, first we will just write about what are the main sources which gives us information about the Mauryas. That is the important sources which give us information about the Mauryas. One is Arthashastra of Kautilya, then Indica of Megasthenes, and Mudra Rakshasa of Vishakadatta. Are the important sources which give us information about the Mauryas. So then let us start about Ashoka. He was the greatest ruler of Maurya. So Ashoka was the greatest ruler of Mauryas, and during the rule of Ashoka, Kalinga was a very powerful kingdom. During the rule of Ashoka, and Ashoka marched up to Kalinga and he wanted to extend his empire. And he marched upon Kalinga, and there a fierce battle was fought. So in Kalinga, a fierce battle was fought there, and all the details about the Kalinga war we get in the 13th edict, that is 13th rock edict. We get all information regarding the Kalinga war. And about the results of Kalinga war, about the conquest, all details are there in the 13th rock edict. And in this Kalinga war, it is said that almost 1 lakh soldiers were killed. Were killed in the Kalinga war, and almost 1,50,000 soldiers were captured as prisoners after the war. But what happened was, seeing all this bloodshed, Ashoka was filled with sorrow. Okay, Ashoka was filled with sorrow when he saw all this bloodshed. Bloodshed which happened after the war. Ashoka was filled with sorrow, and he decided not to wage a war in the future. So Ashoka finally decided that not to wage a war in the future, and Kalinga war became his last war. Now Ashoka changed his policy from Digvijaya to Dharma Vijaya. So Ashoka's policy was shifted from Digvijaya to Dharma Vijaya. So what is the meaning of Digvijaya and Dharma Vijaya? That is, his policy was Digvijaya in the beginning. Digvijaya means winning through military conquest. Okay, so now he changed to Dharma Vijaya. The meaning of Dharma Vijaya is winning the heart of people through Dharma. Okay, that was Dharma Vijaya. So this was the decision of Ashoka after the Kalinga war, and the Kalinga war became a turning point in the life of Ashoka. After that, after the Kalinga war, Ashoka embraced Buddhism. Okay, Ashoka embraced Buddhism, and this happened under the influence of Upagupta. Okay, Upagupta was a person who influenced Ashoka to embrace Buddhism, and Upagupta was a Buddhist saint. Okay, he was a Buddhist saint. Under his influence, Ashoka embraced Buddhism. Ashoka's empire, the empire of Ashoka, extended from Kashmir and Afghanistan in the north, Kashmir and Afghanistan in the northern side, to Karnataka in the south, Karnataka in the south, and from Bengal in the east, Bengal in the east, and Sindh and Baluchistan in the west. Sindh and Baluchistan in the west. So this was the extent of Ashoka's empire. So these are the points regarding the life and achievements of Ashoka. Just let us go through the points once more. Explain the life and achievements of Ashoka. The important sources which tell us about the history of Mauryas are Arthashastra of Kautilya, Indica of Megasthenes, Mudra Rakshasa of Vishakadatta. Ashoka the Great. He was the greatest ruler of the Mauryas. During the rule of Ashoka, Kalinga was a powerful kingdom. Ashoka marched upon Kalinga to extend his empire. A fierce battle was fought between them. The 13th Rock Edict gives details about the conquest of Kalinga and its results. About 1 lakh soldiers were killed and 1,50,000 were captured as prisoners. Ashoka was filled with sorrow at the sight of bloodshed. He decided not to wage war in the future, and this became his last war. Ashoka changed his policy from Digvijaya military conquest to Dharma Vijaya, winning the heart of the people. The War of Kalinga became a turning point in the life of Ashoka. He embraced Buddhism under the influence of Upagupta, a Buddhist saint. Ashoka's empire extended from Kashmir and Afghanistan in the north to Karnataka in the south, from Bengal in the east to Sindh and Baluchistan in the west. So these were the points regarding Ashoka. So I hope you have understood all the points in this chapter very clearly. Please go through the question and answers again and again so that you are thorough with all the answers. If you have any doubts, you can feel free to ask in the comment section. And also, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Your likes and shares will be of a great encouragement for me to make more and more videos. So I hope to see you all soon in the coming video. Thank you for watching.